Good morning, teacher and classmates. As we know, there are a lot of issues that affect our city, but today we're gonna cover about the juvenile delinquency. Actually, there are a lot of teenagers that are learning how to use weapons or how to extort people by phone calls, etc. And we would like to give you some causes about this and propose solutions by being radical. So let's start with the causes. Please, Milagro, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, teacher and classmates. Well, I like to focus on the social environment. Violence is not produced randomly. It is born from a culture of social conflict. But let me put in other words, victims of social discrimination are excluded from important decisions, and they are considered incapable of adapting to the social environment, which is why they take a crime as an alternative for survival. But there are a lot of problems. What do you think about that? About drugs, Maria?
Yes, thank you, Laura. Well, when teenagers have problems within their familiar surroundings, they are still looking for affection and attention. And what exactly do? They spend time with their friends, even if they aren't good friends.
Yes, but
Yes?
please tell me what you were saying.
Okay, well, I was saying that they spend time with friends, even if they aren't good friends, just to feel that emptiness.
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
Well, to put it in another way, Andrea, with emptiness, I mean that teenagers want their friends to cover from that uh, attention and affection. But let me add that most of the time, uh, teenagers become addictive to drugs. For example, marijuana, or heroin, and cocaine, which is the most common, or maybe they commit criminal acts.
Okay, let's move on to the third cause of delinquency. It is said that the economic problems forces them to commit a crime. In some young people, delinquency is something transitory, but for others, such as orphans, it becomes the normal life. A study by Philip Feldman shows an analysis of the relationship between the lower class juvenile delinquency. Feldman concludes that the lower class is more likely to be investigated and to be found guilty than any of the other social classes. In other words, those without money are more likely live down a path of crime. What do you think? Do you think that economic problems is the most important cause?
Okay, Andrea, thank you so much for giving us the cause of economic problems. So let's pass to the possible solutions. Please, Milagro.
Well, first, I have a question. Can psychological therapy change criminal behavior? The answer is yes. The behavioral has been shown to reduce this behavior between 20% and 50%. I agree with the people who believe that the solution is working with young people. For example, rethinking their behavior patterns, giving them practical tools to improve the self control, making them practice social skills, working on their identity can drastically reduce their chances of committing crimes.
Milagro, could you explain us more about that, please?
Yes, of course. I mean that many people believe that those who go to the psychologist are crazy, but society should normalize that. They help us understand our behavior, giving a prediction, and they help us going on the right track.
Yes, what Milagro is saying is true. Even for those teenagers that are into drugs, they can go to a rehabilitation center so that they can start from zero.
Yes, that's a good argument, but if we put ourselves in the position of people who don't have money, we realize that most of them can go to the psychologist. In this sense, free access to workshops is essential, financial support will help with that. Let's look at other possible solutions. Lesson job and wages. Branches of the national government must build a nation that enables a dignified life for all its residents, without poverty or discrimination, and with decent jobs and wages. A person once said that setting up the motivation to undertake jobs is really important to a nation. I think so too. It will decrease the unemployment rate and crime rate.
That's a good argument, but I think that there is another big solution. And it could be teach them to establish a monthly or weekly budget, assigning a percentage, because if you don't know how to manage your money, it will cause you to fall into financial problems again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your attention, classmates and teachers.